Hey, how's it going everybody? We're going to be covering IDO Pass today. This is a paid promotional video, so shout outs to them for helping and supporting the channel. And as always, we're going to jump right in. So starting out, I think it's important that you know what an IDO is. So an IDO is an initial DEX offering, and it's a way for projects to sell their newly created crypto tokens to the community through a decentralized exchange. And we can see that IDO Pass primarily focuses on investing into IDOs, incubating new projects, tokens/coins, and fractionalizing blue chip NFT projects. This project will be split into two different phases, and the first phase is mainly distributing all of their NFTs. And the next phase is focusing primarily on their IDP or their utility token. So their utility token is called the Initial DEX Participation Token, and that will power the ecosystem on their DEX. Their founders/member passes plus your IDP token will grant you access to the ecosystem and any upcoming IDO before anybody else. And if you're not familiar with how coins usually work, when they come onto an exchange is usually when they have an initial pump. And if you can get in before they're on an exchange, just like here with Clay, then you can see that when it first came out, it started at 0.0062, and now it's all the way up to 0.0271, and on the very first day, it peaked at 0.05. I want to make it clear that this is not a guaranteed way to make money, but it is very profitable if you do happen to get into some that are at the right time. So you can see for Yumi, it worked out very well, very similar to Clay, only a few days later. It wasn't on the very first day, but even still, that's very cool to see. And if we do check out others though, like let's see BNA, you can see that that did not work out for BNA. So it's not always going to work out. Do keep that in mind. And here's a bigger list of some of the other things that they're working on. So starting off with a decentralized incubated launchpad exclusive to Cardano, a guaranteed allocation for their pass holders, a decentralized exchange for crypto trading and new projects, token and NFT staking, a passive airdrop of IDP tokens, guaranteed airdrops of new tokens/coins, access to the range of different trading tools, and a passive airdrop of IDO tokens. So as a lot of you know, you were all a newbie at one point. It was hard to get into crypto, you had to find Coinbase, then you had to find NFTs or DeFi or whatever, and the first step getting into crypto wasn't too bad, but getting into NFTs and getting into DeFi took a lot more research. So this is where the vision and mission of IDO Pass DAO aims to try to make that a bit smoother. They do say they want to overcome the barriers to entry in order to participate in Cardano IDOs. They also have IDO Pass DAO aiming to become the top rated and most trusted DAO with a launchpad within the Cardano ecosystem. So some of the issues that they found with other launchpads is that venture capitalists get way too much and they dominate the entire market, leaving nothing for the public sale, which does create an unfair allocation. Also, the first come first serve approach is kind of a bit crap because bots can go in and do it faster than a human being, and also whoever has a faster internet connection is going to win. And lastly, there's poor customer service and vetting implementations. So most launchpads do not share the vetting process, and there's also sometimes no replies to your questions for several days. So some of their solutions behind these issues is that they're going to have an explainer that involves a timeline. They're going to have price and future info that will be shared with the investors so that they don't miss or skip any steps to get the IPD tokens. They're also going to have these investment opportunities. So as a fair approach, they're limiting their investment cap so that the tokens can be purchased by the community. And then rewarding IDO Pass holders, they want their community to stake their airdrop/purchase token right away on the defined pool so that they can reward them accordingly. And then they talk about their NFTs, and each NFT will guarantee you allocation to participate in the IDOs in order to set up a fair distribution. So with their NFTs, there's going to be two different types. There's going to be 1,000 of the founders, which have already minted, and now there's going to be 4,555 for their members. The ones with the founders will get larger allocations. And then the last issue where people weren't getting responded to right away, they are going to have community managers run the community 24/7 by chat and run the system with defined timescales. So now we're going to head over to their Launchpad details section of their white paper and look at everything that their Launchpad has to offer. So starting off, you'll be able to stake their tokens and or trade them on their DEX. You'll also be able to participate in their governance, and then you can stake your NFT pass or IDP to ADA LP tokens to receive IDP. And this will qualify you for free distribution and airdrops, unique pool benefits, governance voting, and much more. And through their staking mechanism that combines the number of tokens staked together with your own specified lock time, they are aiming to be the fastest launchpad in the Cardano ecosystem. They also want to make these IDOs available to everybody, and this is why they have a heavy focus on their user interface. And then lastly, if you want to get access to anything that their launchpad will offer, all you need to do is hold one of their NFTs. It can be founder or members. Now, where IDO Pass DAO is getting their initial funding is through their mint, and they want to make it clear that they will be using NFT Maker Pro, and some of the money has to go to NFT Maker Pro because it does have a flat rate of 5 ADA per NFT minted. The first sale was of 1,000 founders passes. These went for 75 ADA each, and 70% of the public sales went to the community DAO treasury. 30% went to the project developers, and then their second sale of 4,555 members passes will be priced at 100 ADA, and 70% of these sales will go to that DAO treasury as well, and 30% will go to the project developers again. And then the secondary sales, the royalties, will be 10%. 75% of this 10% will go to the DAO treasury. 25% will go to developers and ongoing efforts. So now we're going to talk about how the IDO's investments will work. 80% of the profits will go back to the DAO treasury. 20% will go to the research team and their creators. 20% will only be taken from the profits that is made from the IDO investment, not from the total investment. So let's go over a quick example so that everybody can understand where this money is going to go. So let's say 2,000 ADA is invested into an IDO/token by the DAO. The token then 3x's and goes to 6,000 ADA, which 4,000 ADA is the profit. So they will take 20% from the 4,000 ADA, not from the total 6,000, and this will equal about 800 ADA. This is to ensure that the treasury funds will constantly grow, and the original 2,000 ADA that is invested is always returned to the treasury, plus 1%, which is an additional 40 ADA in this case, and those will always be returned to the DAO treasury. So 21% will be deducted from the 4,000 ADA profit, which is 20% going to work effort, so 800 ADA, and 1% will go back to the DAO treasury to keep it growing. That leaves 3,160 ADA remaining. The community will then be asked to vote on what happens to the remaining ADA from the initial investment. This could be airdropped to them or could be put into a staking pool, invested into fractionalizing blue chip NFTs or liquidity pools. And then if the DAO treasury happens to invest into an IDO project and the outcome is negative, the IDO Pass DAO team will not take anything from the initial investment. So the community won't lose twice. So if you don't know what fractionalized NFTs are, it's basically where you take an NFT and it's owned by multiple people. And the reason why you would want to do this is because it's maybe too expensive for you to get into that project alone. And this is also why stocks have done this. So certain stock trading platforms such as Robinhood will allow you to buy fractionalized shares because maybe you can't afford a full share of a $1,500 stock. And their team actually brings up a good point. It says that the team believes that the more blue chip NFTs that are locked away in DAO votes will only increase the price and create a scarcity in the market, which will create a higher profit for the treasury. This will not only benefit that project because there's going to be less in circulation, but it also benefits their own treasury because there will be less in circulation. Also, to bring more value to the Cardano community, there will be votes for their DAO to buy more of these tokens that are already out, such as WMT, Pavia, and Milko Media. Also, by owning any of their NFTs, you will get access to their market analyzation tool. So this tool, we're going to go over a few of the things that it does, but there is a long list, and some of them are still in development. So this market analyzation tool part of their white paper is kind of a 50-50 between teaching and giving you a tool to trade, because this tool is not going to help you with mindset. So when it says right here with introduction and basic information, setting expectations and mindset being the first one, it is the most important one, but that's something that's going to take you a lot of time and something that a tool alone cannot help you with. They're also going to help you with how to use and customize TradingView, how to read charts, stuff like that. And we can scroll down, and I'm going to just hover on this page a little bit and just talk about a few because there is a long list. So this is going to talk about timeframes. A lot of this has to do with timeframes, with support and resistance levels and trend lines. Resistance levels are some of my favorite because I think it's pretty simple to use resistance levels. When you're going up and it hits a resistance level, it's a good time to usually short it. If it's going down and it hits a resistance level, it's usually a good time to go long. And even if it only bounces a little bit or only dips a little bit, you can play that move and only play those moves and you'll be pretty consistent. Not financial advice. Again, here's another page talking about all the things that they're going to build. And on this one, the most important that I found was exiting a trade. So many people, especially in the NFT market, do not know when to take profits, myself included. It's really hard to know. I've taken plenty of profits, but I've also left a lot on the table. I've also sold super early. It's really, really hard to decide when to exit. So here's another slide talking about all the things that they're planning on building. And the one that I found the most important here is creating and testing your own strategy, because it's better than just saying, oh, create a strategy. It brings back that focus that you need to look at your strategy. When did you get in? Did you have an exit point when you got in? And if not, why? So what do these passes give you? By owning one of these passes, you will get 1 vote for their governance, around 9,000.9 IDP tokens, and then you will be airdropped a community allocated IDP tokens each month for 24 months once it's launched, whitelist for collaborative projects, a percentage of IDO tokens that the treasury has invested in, access to the research team investment call channels, access to our chart analyzation tool, and much more. They are also saying that the reason for the team choosing to airdrop all pass holders the same amount of utility token is because they want to treat everyone as equals, because our goal in this ecosystem is to empower the Cardano community but still reward our early supporters. So looking at the allocation of these IDP tokens, you can see 60% is given to the community, 1% for the IDO, 2% for locked governance, 7% to the investors, 8% to the dev fund, 9% to the reserve, and 13% to their team. It's also important to know that any project willing to launch on our platform will have to invest into our token as a requirement. How much is the requirement? We have not put a figure onto that just yet. And now we're going to talk about their roadmap, and this roadmap is pretty long, so I will continue to focus on the key points. So we can skip phase 1 because we're already on phase 2, and we will mint the 1,000 founders passes. That's already happened. So now we're down to the public sale. After 10% mints, they are going to open up their DAO NFT verification system, open all exclusive channels, anonymous voting system implemented, and then they will release more information about their team behind the project. In phase 3, this is when 20% has minted out. The DAO proposal system will be implemented, implement the weighted volt system, cast the DAO's first vote, stake their first pool, and purchase their first blue chip NFT. Now in phase 4, this is when 30% has minted, and this is when they're going to implement their educational channel and start building their market analyzation tool. Their tool is also already kind of far along, so I'm going to go show you what that looks like in one of their demos. So over on their tool, we have an example of WMT, one of the tokens. And you can see these green candlesticks, which means it went up on that day, and red, which means it went down. Normal stock stuff. But when you see all these other indicators, you have these yellow small diamonds, you also have these red larger diamonds, and then you have these blue triangles as well. Normally what these yellow or gold diamonds right here mean is that you should be buying. However, you need to really pay attention to the time frame. This is a 15-minute time frame, so that means every single one of these candlesticks was a 15-minute move. Just because right here it gave you a buy signal during this 15 minutes doesn't mean that the next 15 minutes it's going to give you the same signal. And the last thing I want to go over is the RSI, which is this chart down here, or Relative Strength Index. It tells you roughly how strong a stock is performing at any given time. So when you see these purple little circles, that is the indicator telling you to buy, and when you see these red circles, that is the indicator telling you to sell. So now jumping back over to their phase 5 part of the roadmap, they will have 40% minted out at this time. They will continue to tell us how their market analyzation tool is coming along. They will also make their second YouTube video, start their first LP farming token pair on MinSwap. Then at the very bottom here, it says that they will airdrop the community the first ever developer's wallet surprise bag. Then we get to phase 6, which is 50% minted out, and this is where they will stake Launchpad tokens to be able to participate in IDOs and show the community how to use different bridges, set our first IDO investment budget, and then also they're going to be collaborating with other projects. Then we get to phase 7, where 60% is minted out. They will continue to update us on their tool, and they will also start developing the visuals for the IDP utility token. Then we get to phase 8, where 70% is minted. They will then dissolve the IPD committee, and the community will vote on a new committee to be put together because now they will have more community members. Then we get to phase 9, where 80% is minted out. They will invest in their first IDO on the chosen platform. They will launch their Twitch Games Night / shoot your shot at the project developers AMA, release more information about their tool, and have an alpha call channel being implemented. Then we get to phase 10, where 90% is minted, and you have the committee helping finalize the testing for their market analyzation tool. And then lastly, in phase 11, everything is minted out. They're starting to design their generative members passes. They're taking part in their second IDO, and they will release a full market analyzation tool linked to the community. But all right, everybody, that's everything I wanted to cover for IDO Pass DAO. If you have any more questions, I will link all of their socials in the description below. Go check them out. But remember to get outside, see your family, see your friends. We're here to make more money so that we can spend more time with them. Until next time, guys, peace.
I get it like a G, but it never came easy. You got me coughing up a lung, I wish I rap like Wheezy. I keep my pace, so I'm sorry that I'm breezy. Keep my sneaks laced, cause I can't afford Yeezys. I don't want the gold, give me BTC. Y'all be acting crazy.